Woohoo! Today's meeting is all about this wheel. Logitech Pro Racing Wheel. Yeah, it's a very fancy name. It has Pro in it, so it should be good, yeah, right? Well, I'm kidding. This video should be interesting for you if you want to buy it, if you are thinking about buying it, or if you have it and you do not know how to configure it, or some specific things about it and so on. I have it for, I think, about a month now already. I've tested it a lot with many games like this one, Dirt Rally 2.0, EA Sports WRC, some F1 games, Assetto Corsa Competizione, which is quite nice and the feedback is very good. And why not also SnowRunner, because like it or not, you buy a wheel to use it with all games, right? You can also change the wheel if you want, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, and also we'll talk about some things which are specific to this wheel and what to do if you want to change from one compatibility mode to another, because not all games are working with Pro compatibility mode. You'll have to switch to G923 compatibility mode and so on. Okay, so before diving more into this, let's rewind a bit and I will show you the unboxing part, which is, by the way, very interesting, so you should not skip it. But if you do not like it, I have chapters, so you can skip to the parts you are interested in. Here is the wheel and here is the base. Oh, very nice. They are packed individually. For the money, it's very good they are packed like this, because otherwise I will be disappointed. Okay, this is the wheel. It is detachable, so you can buy other models. This one has this shape here, which for some may not be ideal. For example, if you want to drift or whatever. I do not mind it, I like it. It's leather, it smells amazing, like my car. Oh, well, the first impression is very good. So we have here magnetic shifters, and this is the quick release. There are some pins there which align with the base. I will show it to you. Okay, let's put it aside and check the base. Oh, wow, the base is very heavy. I hope my Playseat Evolution will be able to hold it. So once you remove the two important items, you will notice that this is just for protection. This is empty, nothing there. Also this one is empty, it's just for protection, this one too. And here we can find the clamp for the table and a bunch of cables and, wow, big power adapter. I was curious why so many cables. Now I understand. You have cables for every plug in Europe. So we have this one for I don't know which country. This I've seen in Italy, this kind. I know this is for, I don't know this one also for which country is, yeah. This one is for mine and also for Czech Republic. I've been in Czech Republic also, and they have an extra ground here. And this is the stupid micro USB, USB-A. I don't know why they decided to use micro USB. The pedals, the Pro pedals, they have also micro USB. It's very fragile if you do not use it correctly. I just hope this one will sit there without problems. The brick is something else which will bring you probably for some bad news. It consumes up to 300 watts. It's a power-hungry beast. One rally session could cost you something, apart from the fact that it costs a lot of money. You need to be reminded that this is Pro, so you're not paying only for for nothing. If it's written Pro multiple times, this means it should be Pro, right? This looks plastic, but I'm pretty sure, I'm not saying pretty sure because I do not know. I don't want to open it also. I see these screws here, so probably the plastic is just cover and inside we have something more stronger. Carbon or aluminum, because it is very light. We have a very nice start button here. Yeah, and so this doesn't spin continuously. You see there are pins there and they align with this. You have one notch which you have to align with this one here. That's it. Wow. So The moment I clipped it there, it's like one item. You do not even realize that this is detachable. Let's remove it. Wow, very easy to be removed, no problem. So we have a grill here because there is an airflow. This is intake and this is the exhaust. If you would like to keep some of the stickers, this one, it's very important to be removed because you have the exhaust here, and if you do not remove it, it will not work correctly because, like I said, intake, exhaust. Yeah, there is a fan there, and I hope it will not be too loud. For this price it should be very good, but you never know. Here we have the power, it goes with this one, yeah. Here we have 3 USB ports and USB-A ports, but do not get tricked by the port itself. They look like USB ports, but they are special ports. You cannot plug in discs or keyboards or whatever. Yeah, you can plug in the pedals or the handbrake and so on. Yeah, and here is the micro USB is for this cable and it goes to your PC. I'm not going to use it on the table, but I will show you how to mount it on the table, yeah? Almost everything is plastic, but this one, and I'm pretty sure it's only covered inside, it is heavy, it must have more than plastic there. However, this part is very big metal plate and these are part of it, yeah? So they sit on the edge, and this thing with Pro on it, you can detach it, and it has the same shape as this clamp. Put it here, and that's it. Okay, I didn't want to show you what's here because I believed it's not important. However, I found some stickers which may be important for some of you, for different colors, and you can attach them to each button to show you what you have configured the buttons for. ABS, DRS, and so on. So it's very nice. This will go away, this also will go away because it's used only if you want to connect Pro pedals with this old G bass or Pro bass with old pedals. If you don't want to spend 1000 euro for this one, which is a lot, this setup should bring you a lot of satisfaction because the pedals are the ones that you have to replace from G29. I will connect the pedals directly to the bass here, and probably this also I will connect to the bass. We have 3 holes on the bass and only 2 of them are aligning, this one and this one here, and the third one doesn't align. I was playing with it only with these 2 and one of them got loose. I felt like moving a bit, so you really need to tighten this one also. So for that you leave these holes alone because they are on the right size and the right position, and you have to widen this one. The most important is to not be wider than the screw. Yeah, you can put also a washer if you make it too wide, but the important thing is to be aligned with the one in front. Now the long-awaited moment. These 2 are tightened, and let's see if this one aligns now. Yay, you see? Just a bit, not much. I will show you by how much. Now I have all 3 and the base will stay in the correct position. Side by side with G29, the Pro wheel is bigger, both leather, and the layout is a bit different. Yeah, it's way bigger and heavier. The funny thing is, side by side this one looks like a toy, a joke, but do not get tricked by the appearance. This can deliver. Somebody over the internet was telling that He likes very much that the buttons are hidden. Well, yes, but I don't know from which crazy wheel he came, because on G29 they are also hidden. I never had any problems touching some buttons by mistake. Yeah. One of the biggest changes I felt with this wheel is driving confidence. With this wheel I feel more in control. The car is more predictable. You can focus on improving your skills, yeah, which is a very big plus. However, this wheel, whoa, yeah, talking about that. This wheel won't magically make you faster, and it won't give you skills. You've seen my awesome skills earlier, because I'm talking with you, that's why. It allows me to recover better when I do some mistakes. There is no delay, no nothing. There is a learning curve, but not that big like with the pedals. For example, when I switched the pedals from G29, there was a learning curve. I did a lot of mistakes. It was crazy. Not much, less than an hour, but there was some learning curve there. With this one, I adapted more quickly. It's amazing. It has precision. I feel more in control of the car. Now, when I do a mistake, I know it's not because of the wheel, which is very important. This is a straight road to getting better and to, I don't know, be like this. The layout is better than G29, and I got used to it very fast. As you can see, G29 and most wheels on the market have this layout, at least these 4 buttons and this one. We are not talking about the specific ones like F1 wheels, GT wheels and so on. Yeah, I'm talking about the ones that you can use on many games, yeah, like G29. As you can see, A, B, X, Y are spread here. If we turn it over, we have the shifters, and below 2 levers. These ones are magnetic, very nice, kind of loud. If you have somebody sleeping near you, go to automatic. So I was talking about these levers, which are analog and can be configured if you have the Pro compatibility mode. However, with G923 compatibility mode, one of them is acceleration, another one is brake. Yeah, which makes it highly accessible, especially for people with leg disabilities. So it's very important. It's quite interesting. Sometimes, for example, when I play Snow Runner and I get bored, I use acceleration and brake if you want to rest your feet. Yeah, so it's interesting. Or for example, when I did an achievement, which was highly boring, but the achievement was good, so I will release a video about that. I had to keep the acceleration depressed a lot of kilometers to alternate from this one to the foot pedal, so it's very good. The only thing that is very loud, I mean in comparison with G29, are the shifters, yeah, those shifts, yeah, they are very loud because they are magnetic. If you want to play during the night when everybody else is sleeping, you may have problems, yeah. So apart from the shifters, which are quite loud, the rest of the wheel is quiet. Of course, I've had a lot of improvement when I switched also to the pedals, way quieter than the ones from G29, but also the wheel. For example, you see I'm going off-road, and the wheel is giving me the feedback that I want to have, yeah, but is not loud. On G29, the moment I was going off-road, the wheel started to make noises. And this one, nothing. Do not hear anything. The wheel is so silent, it does all the feedback, but no sound. When talking about noise, there is also TV audio, which at different levels can bring you more or less noise. This bass has some, I don't know how many speakers inside, and those speakers are giving you some sounds. So yeah, if you want to play during the night next to your loved ones, you will have to adjust this accordingly, and also it differs from game to game. Some games need this value higher, others need it lower, but if you want absolutely no noise from this wheel, evidently you will have to decrease this value to 0. Whoa! The feedback on this wheel is something else. You can feel concrete joints in Dirt Rally 2.0. These joints I'm talking about, these ones. And not only that, you can feel even the small pebbles. Bumps in Assetto Corsa Competizione. You see these bumps here? When I pass over them, it feels very nice. It's like actually hitting that kind of bump. The feedback is amazing. On this wheel I can feel vibration from the engine, from the surface. If I go very fast, I can feel vibrations also. When I brake hard, the same. And this grinding sensation when cutting corners in F1. Nice. I do not only hear it, I also feel it in my hands. And I forgot something very, very interesting. If we are using the wheel connected to the pedals with gear, for example, Playseat Evolution, you can feel the vibrations and some of the feedback also in the pedals. This is something very nice. When I'm accelerating, braking, the engine also, I feel it on the pedals. If the game is not able to provide you the good feedback for the wheel will not give you satisfaction. This game, Assetto Corsa Competizione, Dirt Rally 2.0, EA Sports WRC, left, are games that I own and that are providing amazing feedback. Yeah, so the moment I went on the grass, I felt this immediately. The bumps also. After a session, I can feel it on my hands. Yes, I can still feel the vibrations. It doesn't feel like this only in Pro mode. There are two modes on this wheel. G923 mode. Wow, I love this. And also Pro mode. This game runs in Pro mode, but there are other games which run in G923, like Dirt Rally 2.0, I don't know, Forza Horizon 5, sorry,
Snow Runner also. Snow Runner, whoa, I've hit the wall and also I felt it. Snow Runner also needs G923 compatibility mode. There is a link in the description, and that link, wow, I love this, sorry. I love that sensation. And that link will drive you to a Logitech website for setting starting point for each game. And one more important thing about this wheel is do not expect to have the same settings on all games. Yeah, for example, this base has some, I don't know how many speakers inside, and those speakers are giving you some sounds along with the feedback. However, if you are increasing it to the maximum, let's say now it's at 100, it is too much. And too much sometimes doesn't give you the feel that you want. In ACC, I feel the need to lower it down. I haven't met any game in which you need to have this one at 100%. The only game where I needed to have it a bit higher than the others was EA Sports WRC, because probably the feedback provided by the game is not that aggressive and you have to increase from the wheel a little. I have profiles, and for this game I have F1 profile. For WRC I have another profile, for Assetto Corsa Competizione, and so on. For example, if I switch, you see, it doesn't feel right anymore. I've switched to settings for WRC and it's more pronounced, but more pronounced sometimes doesn't mean good. More pronounced sometimes is too much noise. So you have to have ideal settings for each game which will give you the feedback but will not over enhance it. If you over enhance it, you will not have the same sensation, and probably I don't know, for me at least, won't satisfy me. So that's why this wheel is very nice, that it has some onboard settings, 5 onboard profiles, which you can modify directly on the wheel, but if you want to rename them, you will have to go to the G-Hub application. And also, if you want, there is this first profile which is called G-Hub, and if you select it, you will have the profiles you set on the G-Hub application. Wow. If you see this, do not worry. This delay doesn't happen in games, only in this stupid application. There is a flicker, but I do not see it with naked eye. It's because of the recording, yeah. If the wheel is not connected to anything, you'll get this message. There are various ways to configure this wheel, and one of them is via the wheel itself. If you want to adjust something, you press on this knob or this one, yeah. They are working the same, you see? And this is a button, and this is also the button. So they both work in the same manner with this menu, which is activated by this button here. The wheel has two compatibility modes, Pro Wheel and G923, and they differ one from another. In Pro Wheel mode, we have multiple profiles. G-Hub means it will take the settings from the G-Hub application on your PC. WRC, this is for EA Sports WRC. ACC is for this game, Assetto Corsa Competizione. This is something which I did not set yet. And F1 other. There are multiple F1 games and there are some slight differences, so I prefer to create one setting for F1 24 and another one for the others. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 profiles, yeah, which you can rename only via the application, or you can use the profiles which you configure on the G-Hub application, yeah. This is possible only via Pro Wheel compatibility. If you switch to G923, unfortunately there are no onboard modes, you'll have to use the G-Hub application, yeah. So I have a profile for Dirt Rally 2.0, another one for, I don't know, F1, 2020, 21, 23, for Snow Runner, and so on. There is no way to have some profiles on the wheel. In Pro Wheel mode, whatever you are connecting to the wheel is visible here. You see, I press the brake. Oh, sorry, this is the acceleration, brake. You see also the steering wheel, handbrake. Also, these levers can be visible if you configure them. For example, now axis A, axis B, or as clutch. This is clutch bite, 80%. Or handbrake, both. Or even brake and gas. You see. So I'm not using the pedals at all. I'm using only the steering wheel. And this can be configured in the wheel via this menu here. Let me show you. You see, L pedal or right pedal, yeah. However, only in this compatibility mode, Pro wheel. If we go to G923 compatibility mode, they are not configurable, not even via the application. You will use them as brake and gas. That's it. Also, the handbrake, I have to connect it directly to the PC because in this G923 mode, if I connect the handbrake directly, it will not be usable. Put it on a PC when in this mode and then in Pro mode put it back, it makes no sense. So this handbrake is connected directly to the PC all the time. Imagine now I'm playing EA Sports WRC and I have to put it in Pro wheel compatibility mode and the handbrake is working, connected directly to the wheel. But if I want to play Dirt Rally, I will have to go to G923 compatibility mode and the handbrake will not be usable. So I will have to remove it from the back of the base and connect it to the PC. This is too much. The moment you switch from one compatibility mode to another, you need to restart the wheel. I'm not sure why. You see in the application you can still see it as Pro, and you may have some strange issues on some games. So when you switch to G93 and you can still see it as Pro in the application, my recommendation is to completely stop it and start it again. It will disappear from the application and it will come back as G923. This is how it should look in G923 mode. At first I had the impression there is no way to modify its strength in G923 mode. However, this is strength in the application. Centering spring strength. Yeah, it's a bit misleading, and there is also this centering spring in non-force feedback games. Doesn't make no sense for this wheel. Yeah, so ignore it. If you want strength to be set up per profile, for example, I'm now in Snow Runner, yeah, you have to check this and put whatever you want. For example, 50% means half of 11, yeah, 5.5, yeah, and so on. It's not in nanometers, it's in percentage. So yeah, if I increase it to 100, it's 11 nanometers, 21 is 2.3, and so on. Yeah, you understand. Just a second, I want to check something. And now if I go here and I modify the strength, let me put it to 100, to 11. Yeah, no? Okay. You have to remember this. If you modify strength directly on the wheel, it will not be saved in your profile. So I've put strength to 7.1. Now I go to Assetto Corsa. Strength is 11 because this is not set. As soon as I click here, you see, chunk, chunk, like this, chunk, 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 yeah. And if I go back to Snow Runner, for which strength is 37, now it's 4.1, yeah. Also FFB filter and dampener, I haven't found anything here, so those will not be modified at all. They will stay the same for each game. So if you want FFB filter and dampener to have different values with different games, you'll have to set them separately, and each time you are switching from one game to another. Brake force is the brake, is this. G923 mode is not ideal. However, you have some games which do not support the Pro mode, so you will have to switch to this one. like Dirt Rally 2.0 or SnowRunner or some F1 games and so on. As you can see, this is PC only version. I went with that because it was, when the moment I bought it, it was 150 euros cheaper. So considering I had G29 for several years and I have used it only with PC, it made no sense to give more money for PlayStation or Xbox version. However, I have an interesting tip. The Xbox chip is in the wheel and the PlayStation chip is in the base. So if you pair an Xbox wheel with a PlayStation base, you may get multi-platform compatibility. As you know, PlayStation or Xbox, they both work on PC. Very interesting. I cannot test this myself, but is what others have confirmed online. Yeah, I'm in space now. Overall, the Logitech Pro Racing wheel has impressed me both in build quality and in how much control and feedback it gives me behind the wheel. This is a real game changer. I do not have G923 at hand to check what's the difference. Probably if you are coming from G923 or from a better wheel than G29, probably you will feel different. You will not have the same wow sensation that I have. Yeah. I don't know, maybe you will have, it's up to you. But for me, coming from G29, it's a serious step forward. It still requires fine-tuning per game and some patience to learn its quirks. Yeah, so do not expect to get behind this wheel and be perfect or have everything in control. Yeah, you will have to learn it, to adjust it correctly, and oops, I'm in the water. And that's about it. If you are still here, I'm very glad that you had the patience to watch me. I hope you found useful this video, and do not hesitate to like and share, and also subscribe, why not. There are many other things, many other videos which are coming. Wait a second, how it is. It was like this and this. Yeah, oh no, oh, yes, okay. So I'm planning to release different videos about each game I'm playing with this wheel. Probably also for this one, even if it's demo, it doesn't work straight away. You have to do some configuration. So I will have a video about this game also. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next ones. Oh, bridge. I have also, yay, here's the bridge here. Yeah, the perspective on this game is a bit strange, probably because you are off-world. Yay, and now we are jumping. Oh, too much, and that's it.